Welcome, everyone, to another episode, well, a slightly different episode of 1 Hour, One Decision. And it's our Sweet 16 Part 2 bracket episode. Todd from Secret Friends Unite helped us out with the first part. Now we have Eric from the Unlockables and all other great things on the interwebs joining us here today. Eric, thank you so much for joining us.
Guys, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. Quick turnaround from you guys being on my show to me being on your show. I love it. It's great. I'm very excited to be able to help you decide the second part of this Sweet 16 bracket, and I will try not to pick something terrible.
That's okay. I generally pick terrible things, so that's part of my shtick at this point. So we have 16 games that we need to get through fairly quickly. We are going from all the way from our episode on Infern X to Disc Room, if you kind of follow us chronologically. So this is where we're at. So, Tom, are you ready?
I am ready.
Eric, are you ready?
I am ready.
So let's do this.
Okay, so as you said, first round is number 1 versus number 16.
Yeah.
So we have Infern X versus Disc Room.
See, I actually played more of Infern X than Disc Room.
Okay.
I went back and played it more. But that game infuriated me and I stopped playing. So I'm going to go with Disc Room here.
Oh man.
Because I felt like I was making progression in Disc Room, and it was like very tense, and especially Tom, you didn't get to see this, but because I saw your name on the leaderboard, I was like, I gotta beat him, I gotta get him, and that was nice. It was a nice little touch that kept me going. So, what about you, Tom?
Well, I'm going to make this very easy for Eric because I also picked Disc Room over Infern X, not for very different reasons either. If you said, Tom, you got to play another hour of one of these two games, I would pick Disc Room. And mostly because I think the hour went by so quickly. Like, the game is kind of repetitive, but they both kind of are. Yeah. And Disc Room wasn't infuriating, whereas Infern X could be. So
with Infern X, I really like the fact that you can choose what you do with certain, like there's certain choice elements where you were with there's like a villager, it looked like he was about to turn or something, and you can kill him immediately, or if you just let him survive, then he turns into a giant boss. It's like pretty impossible to do it initially. So that was kind of cool. But after that, I was like, this game getting really hard and I don't know what to do. And I was like, I give up. But so is Disc Room, but like Disc Room you had like abilities that you picked up, I thought, fairly quickly.
Yeah.
So, and it kind of gave you options on your play style. So, Eric, did you play any of one of these games?
Yeah, well, as you guys know, in my infinite amount of time of playing both of these games, so no, I actually haven't had the chance to personally experience either of these games for myself. But just doing the research, I've heard about Disc Room, and then I was watching some gameplay of Infern X, and my initial gut reaction was that Infern X would definitely be up my alley more with kind of the pixel art style, some of like the Metroidvania elements to the game. So I was actually going to vote for Infern X, but it doesn't matter because Disc Room has already moved on. So
well, you can still plead your case, but yeah, it doesn't matter at this round. So moving on. Disc Room has won. This number 16 has upset the number 1.
Oh, starting off with a strong one. Let's go.
Yeah.
Except that it's chronological and has nothing to do with the strength of the game.
There's no science to this.
Next time I should probably do them based on the whatever gamer score.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
That would be an interesting way to do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on to number 9, number 8, Greedfall versus Cities Skylines.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Since I'm playing on an Xbox, Cities Skylines has a mountain to climb, and it didn't climb it nearly fast enough. So Greedfall wins by being not a real-time strategy game.
That's fair. Eric, what about you?
So I need to clarify my parameters here. Is it something that has to be played on the Xbox, or could I have played it on PC?
No, I'm saying purely for me because that's how I experience both of these.
I'm gonna have to take the opposite stance. I would pick Cities Skylines. It's one of those games that is in the roller coaster tycoon vein of like planning games that tend to take over my life at least like once a year. I go on like a really bad binge of roller coaster tycoon, Cities Skylines, those type of games. I actually played it a couple months ago. So something about it. It just really tickles my fancy of laying out perfect city. It just feels so satisfying. So I have to go Cities Skylines.
So I was terrible at Cities Skylines, and
everyone is at first.
No, but you don't understand. While I was playing this game on stream, because actually one of our podcast friends, Crown Heathens, they suggested this game for us, Cities Skylines, and they watched me play this game, and I didn't particularly like this game. It's not that I don't like this style of game, but it was something about, I don't know. But I really enjoyed making them absolutely cringe while I was building my city, because it was so bad. But you know, how often do I get to do that? I'm going to go with Greedfall here because it was interesting. It was kind of interesting concept. Like almost kind of gave me like a Mass Effect vibe, but in like a pirate world, even though I didn't get to go pirating. But like, you know, I it was interesting enough. Combat was decent enough. So you're 0 for 2 right now, aren't you, Eric?
Yeah, I'm doing terrible.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Moving on. Greedfall is moving on here on this particular matchup.
All right. Next matchup, we have number 5, Art of Rally versus number 12, Prey.
You want me to take this one first?
Yeah.
That way there's no pressure on me. I like it. So again, 2 more games that I have an infinite amount of knowledge about. Not really, but just taking these 2, looking, I'm checking them out, seeing some gameplay today. Art of Rally seems like a really interesting kind of drift rally type of racer, but in this weird kind of almost low polygon type of art style. And Prey to me seemed kind of like a mix between Control and BioShock. And I've heard recently, this is just going to be a purely pick on recency bias, just because I've heard a lot of people talking about Prey. I'm going to go with Prey on that reason alone.
Oh, okay. We got one for Prey. What about you, Tom?
Well, I'm going to make this very easy for you, Chris, because I'm also picking Prey. Because I just had more fun playing Prey. I don't know how to explain it other than like Art of Rally has a cool art style. I dug it. It wasn't that it was unfun to play. It's just that Prey is it's faster. It's a shooter. There are aliens. Like there's a lot going on there that just makes it, scratches a lot of itches for me. So I enjoyed my hour with Prey infinitely more than my hour with Art of Rally. So
I feel like if Prey was going up against anything else, I would pick the opposite of Prey. and again, I think I've talked about this ad nauseum. Like I really love Arcane's art style, and like their presentation is incredible. Like, we just recently talked about Deathloop, and like they have such a great feeling for setting a tone and whatnot. But I didn't have fun with that game.
Is it because things jumped out at you, Chris, and you got a little scared?
No, not at all. I that's fine actually, but it was I like with all the Arcane games, they just kind of bit like they make this sandbox and they're like, here you go, figure it out. Like you can play it however you want. But I would prefer a little bit of like guidance, a little bit of rails to this game. And I got a little overwhelmed, I will say, with my choices. Like I'm going through Cyberpunk right now, and yes, there's a lot of freedom of choice there. But the problem, the thing is, like at least I can focus on my particular skill tree or whatever, right? Like I want to be a hacker. I want to be a net runner. So I can do that and like play it in that particular style. Like where here, I'm like, I think I want to play stealthy, but I don't know how to do it because I don't know how to get to these stealth locations or whatever. So whatever. I would pick Art of Rally but like at the end of the day, I will pick Prey because I preferred the first game that the Art of Rally developer made, Absolute Drift, over Art of Rally. I thought it was a little confusing with Art of Rally overall, but yeah, Prey wins, clean sweep. Congratulations. Here you go, Prey. Here you go, Arcane. Moving on. Let's talk about Weird West versus this is number 4, Weird West, versus number 13, This War of Mine. Now, these are two games that were recommended to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
One, Weird West, was recommended by Wandering Dutch, and This War of Mine was recommended by Cowboy from Welcome to Game Corp. So who do we like better?
So wait, Cowboy did not suggest Weird West?
No. He's picked
Plot
This War of Mine.
twist.
Yeah.
Seems like a missed opportunity there.
It was.
Right.
It really was.
Also,
Okay.
lots of W sounds in this bracket. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, there really is.
I like alliteration a lot, and that's why I'm going to give it to Weird West. No, that's not really the reason, but it's part of the reason. I enjoyed This War of Mine once I got the hang of it, but it still was a little too managey for me. Whereas Weird West, I liked the idea that it was an anthology of different stories, and that, you know, we just got kind of the tip of the iceberg playing with our hour and just playing with that one character. I was very interested to see how these things overlapped and how the characters connected and things as the game went on. So my interest was piqued by Weird West, and it kind of wasn't by This War of Mine. So
I'm gonna pick Weird West as well, actually, because I hate Cowboy. No, because because Weird West, I felt like I got to play it more after the hour as well. I didn't complete it because it did get like infinitely harder, I thought, as you progress, because that game was pretty hard. Both of them were difficult games, but I think for me, I'm not kind of I agree with you, Tom. Like, I don't really like the whole management stuff. Like, oh God, you got to go eat, go get it. Like, I get it. It's a game, but it was kind of like annoying for me. Whereas Weird West, you know, you like the environmental stuff that you could do, like the damage and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. So, and it kind of gave me the itch of, oh man, now I forgot the name of the game, but it was like a game that came out while we were in college, Tom. Like it was like a tactical game, kind of like that same top, like isometric style, but with like fake superheroes. I'm gonna have to look it up again. But
it's not City of Heroes, right? That was
no,
an MMO.
That was MMO. It was, I can't remember the name of it. It had like a Jack Kirby style art style.
Yes,
it was really cool.
As you talk about it, I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember.
I think Freedom
Force?
Maybe Freedom Force. I think it is Freedom Force. I think it's Freedom Force.
Another alliteration.
Yeah.
It's the way to go.
That's the way to go. What about you, Eric? What is your choice?
Yeah,
clearly Weird West won, but
yeah, no, I was going to pick Weird West too, just because looking at these two games, and This War of Mine doesn't really seem like something that would be kind of up my alley. Just kind of the whole survival aspect of it, like that's not something that I'm really excited about. Weird West gives me big vibes of like Diablo with cowboys in the Wild West.
Yes.
So that's, I think, what something I would definitely enjoy a lot more. And I believe, if my facts are correct, that Weird West was put out by Devolver Digital, and for me, Devolver Digital has been absolutely killing it the last like couple of years. They put out two of my favorite games in recent memory. I believe they put out Death's Door and Nobody Saves the World. So I'm riding that Devolver Digital train. Weird West, definitely.
Yeah, they were the publishers. The developer was actually former Arcane people.
Oh, interesting.
So-
Okay, it says it was Wolf Eye Studio. If I looked at
Yes,
it real quick.
Wolfeye. Yep, Wolfeye is they're former Arcane people. Maybe they got tired of the sandbox of Arcane games and
We'll
decided
make
let's
our
do a
own
top-down.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Weird West clean sweep there as well. And we're moving on.
Next one we have Final Fantasy 13, Lightning Returns. It's got just a lot going on there. It's number 3 in our bracket, going up against number 14 in our bracket, which is Going Under.
Yeah. You got any opinions here, Eric?
Yeah, so I kind of have I haven't gotten a chance to play Lightning Returns for Final Fantasy 13, but I have played the original Final Fantasy 13 and I have a lot of pretty strong opinions on that game. I don't think it was executed or done the best it possibly could have been. But that's probably a different episode entirely. As for Going Under, I haven't played this game. I kind of like the concept of it being like it says on Steam, a satirical dungeon crawler exploring the cursed ruins of failed tech startups. And that explanation to me was kind of like, oh, that seems actually really topical for what's happening today and how tech startups might actually just destroy the entire world. So for that reason, I'm going with Going Under for that very morbid reason.
Wow. Okay. We got this episode got dark quickly. But
the robots will kill us all.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think at the beginning of Lightning Returns, isn't she like dead or something like that? Like she's in heaven.
It's certainly possible.
Weird.
That seems like a Final Fantasy thing.
Yeah. So being as this is I think our second time that we played a Final Fantasy game on the show. I don't know. I thought like kind of the detective work that I did on one of the side missions I did was kind of cool. Trying to find like who it was that like I think like killed someone in this particular town or whatever. That was kind of cool. The idea of it, like I think even the battle system was a little bit better than I thought it would be, and I think I'm gonna go that because Going Under is a goddamn roguelite. I'm not gonna have another roguelite.
Even better, that's my jam.
Past this round. So I'm going Lightning Returns.
Oh man, does that mean I have to pick? I'm the deciding vote here?
You are. You are.
Oh jeez.
No pressure.
Okay.
Tom.
So I wanted to like Going Under, and I wanted to like Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns. I disliked both of them, but which one did I dislike less? I think the premise of Going Under was interesting. It was kind of a cool idea, like a tech startup built on the bones or on the grave of a former tech startup, and you have to go down and underground to go get stuff that's down there. Like I like that in principle, but for me the humor just didn't land at all. Like I didn't find it like it was trying to be funny, but I didn't think it was funny. But I do think that like you were saying, Final Fantasy 15 was just a more fun Final Fantasy than this Final Fantasy. This is tough for me, but I'm going to go with Lightning Returns. I think ultimately at the end of the day, we're talking about playing an action RPG versus playing a roguelite, and I mean that just wins.
Sorry, Eric.
I'm going to get it out of this tournament one way or another.
You will. We've got a few more that you can try. And speaking of a few more, number 6, Kill It With Fire against number 11, We Happy Few.
Well, I'll start this one off by saying let's kill it with fire. I had a great time playing that. I think We Happy Few was fun. It was cool, first person shooter. But set in like a dystopian, like you better take your pills kind of way, which gave me kind of BioShocky kind of vibes a little bit. I didn't dislike playing it, but I enjoyed the heck out of playing Kill It With Fire, especially when you find the bugs and you throw things at them or burn them or whatever you need to do. It was a fun time. I enjoyed playing it.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna agree with Tom and also choose Kill It With Fire. That was one of my favorite episodes you guys have done in recent memory, and that just seems like a game that I could play with my wife and just causing untold chaos and mayhem to kill these spiders, and that brings me great joy because I have currently killed about, since the weather's getting colder, about 17 to 18 spiders in my house this month. So yeah, I feel like I need some like a cathartic release on just murdering these spiders in the most brutal way possible. So Kill It With Fire for sure.
You know what's in common with both of these games?
What's that?
You can't see your feet in both of them.
Oh, just disqualify both of them.
Disqualify both of them. We really should disqualify on that. But I'm going to go with you guys. Kill It With Fire was definitely more enjoyable. It was just such a ridiculous premise. And I think they just did a great job of like getting the, when you see a spider, you get the violin, like plucking of the violin strings and like that, like just like the creepiness of the spiders was great. And the type of weapons that you could use to kill them was amazing too. Like you had grenades, you had a revolver. Like if you're able to kill those spiders with a revolver in this game, well done, because that was difficult. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Kill With Fire. That was a fun one and requested by Nick from QTB. So
there we go.
Thanks for that. Let's move on.
Oh. We got more bugs, right?
We do have more bugs. In fact, we have Battlefield Hardline number 7 against Bug Snacks.
Well, guys, I can start this one off because I'll just get this out of the way quick. I've brought my very strong feelings towards EA to this episode. I've been burned too many times by EA to have any sort of good feelings about any of their games. Anthem being the last instance of that. Yeah, got me at $60. I was big on the Destiny train and they got me with Anthem, unfortunately. I played Battlefield Hardline. I was not that impressed. I don't understand the hype around Battlefield. I don't think it's as well polished game as Call of Duty ever was. Not that I like either of those games anymore now, but and I have zero experience with Bugsnax, but Bugsnax advances off just purely that it wasn't made by EA and is not an EA production.
Wow. Okay.
It's good. Strong opinions. Strong opinions make decisions easy.
Absolutely.
It kind of liked the intro of the Battlefield Hardline. I liked the like kind of buddy cop, like investigative. Mm-hmm. Felt like it could have been a TV show gameplay, but not as much as I enjoyed snacking on bugs. It's cute. It's colorful. It reminds me a lot of Pokemon Snap, but you eat the Pokemon, which is like terrible, but also kind of interesting. So I'm going to give it to Bugsnax on this one. It's weird. It's weird in a good way.
Right.
Yeah.
Battlefield Hardline, it's another first person like shooter,
Been there, done that.
I don't know if this was the decline of Visceral Studios at this point, because Battlefield Hardline was done by Visceral, and that was surprising to me when I read that or found that out.
Oh, that wasn't done by DICE?
No.
Interesting.
That was Visceral.
Okay, I
believe they used I believe they used the DICE engine for it, but because I think at that point, not DICE, the Frostbite engine, because I think at that point, EA was trying to push that against like everyone to use. I believe at that point, like it was starting to be the thing, which is what Anthem, I believe, is on the Frostbite engine as well. Mm-hmm. And I don't know.
No wonder I hate it.
But anyway, Hardline, I loved like kind of the campiness of it, but it was like to your point though, it was still pretty much a very by the books first person shooter. Although, like, I guess you can arrest people instead of shooting.
Yeah, I like that. I like the flash and the badge and being like, stop right there, criminal scum.
You could do that. There was that choice. I appreciated that. But yeah, I mean, Bugsnax just had a charm to it. I have to say, it was it was kind of cool. And like, not only like you had to find creative ways to sometimes capture these animal or bug snacks or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna go with you guys and stick with bug snacks on this one. So well done, bug snacks.
Right.
You're moving on.
Clean sweeping. All right,
Clean sweeping. Go ahead.
Last one in this round. Number 15 seed, the Forgotten City versus number 2 seed, the Rift Breaker.
I'm gonna tell you right off the bat, I finished the Forgotten City. That was a very cool game, very cool concept, and that's my pick here. Forgotten City.
Eric, do you have an opinion here? Do you want to go next?
Yeah, I can go next. I've seen Forgotten City. I've heard it talked about. It's got a 10 out of 10 on Steam. Seems like a great game. Narrative-driven games, it's time loop game, aren't really my jam. When I saw Rift Breaker, it reminded me of one of my other favorite games that I've played recently, which was Factorio. And something about the aspect of just being kind of a giant mech, setting up like your factory, your automation, kind of surviving and stuff like that. Despite the fact that I said earlier in the episode, I'm not really kind of like a survival type of game player. I think Rift Breaker will be right up my alley. So I'm going to pick Rift Breaker to advance on that reason alone.
Wow. I will say Rift Breaker is kind of cool because it had like this Twitch integration as well. So like people watching you play it can actually interact with like either punish you or like help you while
that's
you're
very
playing
cool.
the game. So yeah, that was a kind of cool integration stuff.
I know a lot more games are doing that now. I know Cult of the Lamb recently did that too. So
cool. Tom,
well,
you're the deciding factor here.
I am. And I want to say, I thought it was pretty neat. I think this was among the first, or maybe the first game that I played on the cloud, where it was not available on the Xbox One. And so I played it on the cloud, and it played very smoothly, surprisingly so for what becomes kind of a chaotic RTS kind of game, later when the crap starts hitting the fan. But it's another kind of game that I think really needs to be played with the mouse and the keyboard.
Absolutely.
I definitely struggled playing it on the Xbox, and I do love mecha. I do love my mechs. But I had a better time with Forgotten City, so I'm going to go with Forgotten City on this one.
Yes.
There you go.
Made it out. Yeah, I was with that description there, I was afraid that Rift Breaker was making its way through. So.
He kept it. He played that good. He seemed like he was leaning one way, and then he leaned back towards the other, and then brought it home at the end. That was good suspension building, Tom.
Yeah, I try.
All right, we are on to our next stage, our next round of games.
Yes.
We first up, number 9, Greedfall, against number 16, Disc Room.
See, now it gets hard. This getting hard. Like, I'm not sure, but like, I really want to like that. I really wanted to like Greedfall. I really wish I had gotten further. Like, I got to the point where I could get on the ship, but I didn't get out of the starting gate. I think, big picture, I think I would end up enjoying Greedfall more, and I think that Disc Room, after another hour, I would be done and never want to play it again. So I'm going to go with Greedfall for the longevity. I enjoyed my hour of Disc Room. I think in short bursts, Disc Room is probably a more fun game to play. But I think if I was going to put the same amount of time into both games, I would enjoy Greedfall better.
So here's my question, though. Greedfall is not on Game Pass anymore.
Oh.
Does that change?
Is it an automatic disqualifier?
Yeah, does that change your opinion? Because Disc Room is still available on Game Pass.
Well, listen, I'm making my choice. I'm saying Greedfall here. And then if you guys have strong opinions and want to push Disc Room through, that sounds good to me. I liked Disc Room. There are no losers here. I like both.
Sounds like I win either way. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's true.
But even though it's not on Game Pass anymore, I'm going to go with you. I liked Greedfall more overall because the story elements were pretty cool. And I would definitely be interested if it ever comes back on Game Pass. I mean, it's not terribly expensive either right now. I think it's like $35, so not bad. And it's interesting enough for me to want to keep playing Greedfall. So that's my choice between these two. Eric, bring it home.
Yeah, I gotta, since Greedfall's advancing anyways, I would have to give this one to Disc Room. I think just for the reasons that Tom kind of laid out, I think since my gaming time is so limited now, I am in the process of playing games like kind of in short bursts. So Disc Room seems like it'd be the perfect game for me to just be able to, if I'm laying in bed trying to fall asleep, 15, 20 minutes, pick it up, play it for a little bit, and then just go to bed. I don't have to have any kind of strings attached to it. It's just something I can play in quick bursts. And two, I didn't know this as well, also published by Devolver Digital. So I'm just gonna keep riding the Devolver Digital train for this one, even though it's not advancing. So
yeah, I can tell you though, if you play this game, you're not gonna go to sleep in 15 minutes.
It's just gonna be wide awake all night.
You can get intense. You're just like, oh, I almost made it, and you just get frustrated, and you restart that because it's like immediate. It's like as soon as you die, you're like, you're right back at that level. So you're like,
one more run, one more time.
Yeah, exactly. It's just right back on that run. Tom, were you going to say something? Or?
No, it's a game that rewards you for dying. Like a lot of the objectives are you die spectacularly, and so.
All right. Number 12, Prey against number 4, Weird West. I'm going Weird West. I'm sorry. That's Prey ends here.
Or does it? Do I make this difficult for you? I don't know. I genuinely think I liked Weird West more, but I am a troublemaker. So I'm kind of leaning towards saying Prey because I did like Prey. It's not like I didn't like Prey.
Yeah.
Weird West. Weird West alliteration beats first-person shooter. It's also cool. I like the Baldur's Gatiness of it. Like we talked about before, like the top-down. I don't know. It was cool. Even playing it on a controller, it was so. I enjoyed it so much that didn't even stop me from enjoying it.
I'm gonna go with you guys too and say Weird West as well, just because I think Prey is a great game and deserves the praise it gets. But I'm not really like the atmospheric kind of like spooky, kind of scary, like tense game like that. I'm not really feeling it. So I'd much rather. I'd much rather go with the Baldur's Gate Diablo-ness of Weird West for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
So Prey is dead. You got your wish.
Prey is dead. There it is.
Got your wish. He prayed for the end of Prey, and he
prayed for the end of Prey.
And maybe we'll be killing it with fire as we move on to our next round.
That transition, though.
I know. Number 3, Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13 versus number 6, Kill It with Fire.
This is where Lightning goes to bed. Lightning doesn't return. Yeah, Lightning makes fire, and that fire kills Lightning. Is how this goes for me. I'd rather kill spiders with fire than figure out what the hell's going on in that Final Fantasy game.
Right. Yeah, this is a sequel to already a sequel.
Yeah, is it the second one or the third one? There's a trilogy going on here. It's way too much. It's way too much.
I don't know if you have any ideas about that there, Eric.
I just know that after playing the first one, I was tired of the characters. There was like maybe 1 or 2 characters I liked. I was tired of that world. I was tired of the lore. I was tired of the combat system. Like I was just tired of all of it, and I had no desire to play a sequel. Or I'm shocked that this game got 2 sequels.
Wow,
it's absolutely nuts. So yeah, we're killing it with fire, and yes, Kill It with Fire should advance.
Yes, I am with you guys. Kill It with Fire all the way. It was just a good time, good old time, and who knows, maybe it'll make it all the way to the final round. We'll find out. But before that, we got to get to Bugsnax versus the Forgotten City.
Ooh,
it's a tough one.
I'm gonna give it to Bugsnax because it's an actual game. and not a mod to somebody else's game.
Oh, come on. They redid it themselves. Come on.
Did. Look, it's cool. I like the investigative journalism of the plot of Forgotten City, and I understand that you beat it and really enjoyed it, so I'm pretty sure you're going to vote for it anyway. But I like Bugsnax. No big surprise to anybody who knows me. I love Pokemon. This is a very Pokemon-esque game. There's no big surprise that I would enjoy this. So,
I'll just rip the Band-Aid out right now. I am picking the Forgotten City because it was very cool. I'm sure, but like I actually haven't had my kids play Bugsnax yet. I wonder if they would actually like it. But the Forgotten City. Like the other thing I really enjoyed was it was a fairly short game, and I like Eric was mentioning, like I like when games kind of respect my time. I can get through something and not be, dealing with 800 side quests that are incredibly boring and stuff like that. So,
filler.
Is my choice. Yeah, exactly. A Dragon Ball Z episode. Yeah, pass.
So much filler. No, I mean, I'll just be honest up front. I'm gonna pick Bugsnax because Tom was honestly so. I'm so sorry, Chris. I had to come on your show and steal this from you. I'm so sorry, but I think Tom sold me on it when he was like, "Hey, it's like Pokemon, but you get to eat the Pokemon," and I was just like, "That's really intriguing." So for that kind of morbid curiosity reason, I'm gonna go with Bugsnax. And if it is a game too that would respect my time, I would definitely be worth taking a look at it then.
Yeah, it's another one that's not terribly long.
That's perfect. That's exactly what I need in my life. I'm sorry, Chris.
Guys,
a friendship ended.
morbid curiosity about eating animals. How dare you?
You eat animals every day. Don't act like you're vegan.
That's true. That's true. You're right. I'm not gonna lie there. All right, we are at the semifinals, guys. Let's see what we got. What's our first one here? Greedfall versus Weird West. This is a tough one.
So it's like pirates versus cowboys?
Yeah. Eric, we'll let you start with this.
It's a tale as old as time. It's almost as old as Pirates versus Ninjas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything about Greedfall. It looks cool. Being a pirate looks cool. I still think Weird West would be more up my alley just because I have such an affinity for those top-down style of games. So I'm gonna have to go with if it's cowboys versus pirates, I'm going in Team Cowboy.
Ooh. I am a fan of the anime One Piece, so I am going with Greedfall.
There it is.
But I mean, obviously, the tone of this is not like One Piece at all. It is more serious. Although I guess the lip syncing was pretty terrible in the game, so I guess it could be funny in that way. But yeah, like I mean, I did play more of Weird West, admittedly, but it was, like I said, it just got really hard, and I was like, I just didn't know what to do, and like especially when you're like, because as you progress through the game, you're trying to do missions, and you're traveling like through the map, but then you have these random encounters like an old JRPG, and like some of those encounters were like impossible. I was like, why? What happened here? So I'm sorry, I'm going with Greedfall here.
Well, I'm sorry to you, Chris, because I'm picking Weird West.
2 games in a row.
Damn it.
Unfortunately for you, I just had a better time with Weird West. I'm, again, much more interested in where it's going to go. I like those Baldur's Gate style games. You're complaining about being waylaid by enemies. I think that's one of the coolest things about Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Traveling from city to city.
Well, Baldur's Gate, wasn't it turn-based though?
You could pause it, but you could do that here too. You could pause and you can assign.
Right. I never did that.
Oh, well. Yeah, and I'm over here playing this game on a controller, and you're complaining about how hard it is with your mouse and keyboard.
I played it. I actually played it with the controller. I played mouse and keyboard, but I preferred it on the controller.
Really?
I think it felt a little bit better. Just like I actually preferred Diablo on console. Diablo Diablo 3 on console versus PC.
Well,
I played Diablo 3 on Switch, and I didn't really have experienced any trouble with it. So I thought
it was great. I thought they did a great implementation.
Yeah, they did.
I think you're both weird for having that opinion, but it doesn't much matter because Weird West is moving forward regardless.
Fair enough. On the next semifinal bracket here, we're going with Kill It With Fire against Bug Snacks.
Oh,
this
boy.
is Tom, Pokemon versus killing spiders.
Yeah. Okay. This is my how I just solve this for myself when I'm not sure which way to go is which of these do I want to play for another hour, right? Yep. I enjoyed the hell out of playing Kill It With Fire, but I have this feeling like it's going to get stale over time. Like you're not really making like story progress at all. Like individual levels are fun to play, but like you're not advancing any kind of plot.
Right.
Whereas like there's something weird going on underneath the surface there in Bug Snacks. Like I've got questions. I really do. So I'm going to go with Bug Snacks. I'm going to pick the bugs as my friends instead of trying to set them on fire.
Well, you're eating the bugs instead of lighting them on fire.
Not all of them.
That's just a different way of murder if you think about it.
Yeah. His sustenance.
Right.
So yeah, I agree with you with like the fact that Kill It With Fire was just so ridiculous, so fun. I don't know if there's a VR version of this game, but there should be. That totally makes sense. But yeah, like Bug Snacks had a little bit of intrigue. Like you're trying to figure out what happened to this particular traveler, and like that was out there and trying to find all these Bug Snacks. And yeah, there's something dark going on, something sinister. Yeah. Like the Muppet look of everyone is hiding something very like dark. And it's like, what are they doing? This is kind of like a, like a Pixar movie, like the adult jokes inside jokes, but like, that's kind of fun, intriguing. So I'm going with Bug Snacks as well here.
Oh, wow.
I would make that a clean sweep probably for Bug Snacks for sure. Kill It With Fire just seems like it's that style of game. Just looking at it, kind of watching some gameplay, I just got a vibe of like those type of games. Like it's in the same camp as Power Wash Simulator and and House Flipper, and it just seems like you be kind of you can play those games for a while, but I think like once you've played them for an hour or something, you've been okay. I've experienced most of what this game, the general premise of this game, where I think the intrigue and world of Bug Snacks is just a little more interesting. Where it's like, okay, another hour, I could get a little more intrigue out of this. So yeah, for that reason, I'd have to go with Bug Snacks.
Oh man.
Well, here's what's interesting. The other thing that I do want to say a knock on Kill It With Fire, that if they ever make a sequel, they definitely need co-op in this game.
Yeah,
because that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious, like watching two people trying to destroy all the spiders in the game, which it's it's a miss, but
co-op with friendly fire on.
Yeah, yes, it has to be friendly fire. What were you going to say, Tom?
No, yeah, like the simulation games like this play out better with a friend. Mm-hmm. Like they add replayability that the game just kind of doesn't have when it's just you in the environment.
Yeah. Okay. We are on the finals. We are at the finals here. And this is an interesting one here, folks.
Yeah, I wouldn't have predicted this.
No, I don't know. Eric, what did you think was going to make it to this final round?
I honestly don't know. I knew there were some I saw a couple heavy hitters in here. I thought Prey especially was very strong, but other than that, Prey, City Skylines, and I guess I thought Bug Snacks would go kind of far, but I thought that even though I helped it advance past Forgotten City, I thought Forgotten City would have got further too. So
yeah, me too. But that's okay. Now we're going in Weird West versus Bug Snacks. Here we go. For all the marbles.
All the marbles.
The winner gets to remain a video game. The other does not.
Yes.
Oh my
Immediately
goodness.
gets deleted. Studio gets shut down.
Right. There are jobs on the line. That's terrible.
That's a pretty high. Those are really high stakes.
Yeah.
You had to shut down one studio, Tom. What would it be?
There are families waiting on your decision.
Man, that makes this terrible. Okay, I'm going bugs all the way.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going bugs all the way. If you don't know this about me, you're learning it today. Bug is my favorite Pokemon type.
There we go.
And so, yeah, they're all of the Pokemon in this game are bug type. They're also all food type, which is not a type, but here we are. It is in Bug Snacks.
Type.
Maybe the best type.
Yeah. Sweet and save umami type.
Eric, what about you?
I'm gonna go the opposite and just keep rolling with Weird West. If I'm being honest, I think, like I said, the pedigree of things that Devolver has had their hands on recently, it for me personally has been really, really great, and it's made me want to just experience more of their things. I also think I misspoke earlier. I want to correct myself in your episode. I believe Nobody Saves the World was done by Juicebox and not by Devolver. So I apologize on that one for sure. But I've just really liked seeing everything that Devolver has done. I think they have a game coming out later this year, next year, called Wizard with the Gun, which I'm very interested in. So for that reason, I want to ride with Devolver and I want to go with Weird West.
Okay. Wow.
All down to you, Chris. You have all the power.
Down to me.
No wrong answers, Chris. I'm not going to be mad either way.
This was a great episode. I appreciate Eric coming on the show and getting his
knowledge of none of the games on the tournament.
You had some knowledge. You gave your opinion, but your opinion's about to get dunked on because I'm going with Bug Snacks as well.
That's the revenge for Forgotten City.
That's right. That's what happens when you dunk on me for Forgotten City. I am going with Bug Snacks because, I think. At least Bug Snacks, I can like give this to my kids and let them play it, and they can enjoy it and not have to deal with like the dark humor that it is, like because it'll go right over their heads.
Yeah,
and I'm excited. I think there's actually coming out with a sequel for it too, from what I've heard. So interesting stuff. It's a unique game. It's different, and it kind of gave me that Pokemon Snap kind of vibe too.
Yes.
Which I liked. That was a great game. And I'm sorry. And I forgot to mention, friend in real life, Vin was the one that requested this game for me and for us. So
there you go.
We are unfortunately picking that because I hate him too. But anyway, Bug Snacks is the winner of this bracket. So the Bug Snacks is going head to head with our other winner, which was Dead Space 2.
Ooh, there you go.
And our friends at Welcome to Game Corp are going to help us decide between those two what is the better game. It'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting show. And Eric, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on and being a good sport about being dunked on here at the final decision here. But let everyone know where they can find you because you got great stuff going on as well.
I live to get dunked on other people's podcasts, so I appreciate you guys having me on. And one more correction: it's Drinkbox Studios, not Juicebox. Yes. So I'm just all over the place tonight.
It's okay.
And the Devolver game I was thinking of was they also did Inscription and recently Call to the Lamb. So all my publishers just kind of jumbled up there. But my name is Eric. I host the Unlockables podcast, which I bill as the story of video games, the people who play them, and the memories made along the way. And so I invite people who have video game related shows, podcasts, like Chris and Tom here, who are on a recent episode, to just kind of come on, talk about their shows, about how they met, their memories around video games. And we just have a really good discussion about that. And that's been a really rewarding project that I'm working on all of this year. And you can find me pretty much wherever you can find podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Google, all that good stuff. And then I'm on Twitter at The One True Sire. I'm at Instagram at Unlockables Pod. Those are like the two places that I primarily interact with. And I'm in some Discord servers with you guys too. I don't have my own Discord server, but if you're in there with us, just go ahead and say hi. And I love talking to people about games. So I don't bite. And you can dunk on me too, apparently. So just go ahead and dunk on me.
So yeah, we again appreciate you coming on. And I guess this episode, or the conclusion of these 2 bracket episodes will happen in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And we'll get that all sorted out. But thank you, everyone, for tuning into this episode. And we'll talk to you on next one.
Thanks, everybody.